Alright, welcome back. What we're going to do is we're going to set up Ollama and Open WebUI on a Windows box, and we're going to do this like locally off LocalHost. And if I hit the down button up here, I'll show you how we install these different models, and this way you'll have the similar setup that I do on my DGX Spark, but you have it on your Windows machine, so that way when I do future tutorials or examples, you can follow along off the Windows. And this will work basically the same way. I can do, what is the capital of the United States, and then I can hit enter and it's going to tell me it's Washington DC. The only difference is, I'm running like 7B model here, and I open this up, I have an 8B and 8B model. Where on my Spark, I'm running 70B models, so I'm going to have a bigger model that I can work with. But rather than that, they're going to really function the same. So if you want to know how to set this up on Windows and all this sounds good, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to use Ollama. It's an open source framework designed to run large language models. And we'll need that, and that way we can download models and we can run them locally on our machine. So we'll just hit the download button and we will download the framework right here. And then once it's done downloading, we'll go ahead and install it. Alright, so now that it's downloaded, I can go over here. I can hit this folder or just open file. I like to hit the folder just so I can actually see the little llama in there. I kind of like it. And I'll just double click that, and then when I double click that, that's going to open up the install window. And again, once my window's there, as you know, I have my little llama right there again, and I'll hit install, and this was actually install the framework. Alright, so now that we got llama set up, we can click here to type in a message. And the way this works, if I hit this down button right here, I can select a model. If I select one of these models up here with the cloud, that's not local, and I'll have to sign in and use a cloud account to access those. And since I'm running this locally, I don't have access to the big models because it's not going to run on my machine. And I shouldn't say I don't have access. I can download them. I'm just not going to be able to run them just because I have a 4070 Ti in this particular box. But if I hit this down button here and I see these little download ones where I can actually download the model, I'm going to try this Qwen 3 8B because I don't think I can really run anything efficiently above that. So I'm going to click on this model here, and you're like, well, wait a minute, nothing's working, it's not downloading. And that's okay, because once we ask our first question, it will start downloading the model for us. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a message, and it can be any message, and then it will download the model on the first one. So I can do, how do I ask people to like and subscribe and not sound spammy on YouTube, right? And I hit enter, and then it started downloading the model because it's the first time I asked a question. And once the model's downloaded and it's already on your system, it's not going to download again. So just keep that in mind. So this is just going to be a one-time download. And as you see, once it's done downloading, it starts thinking, and then it's going to bring back my response. Okay, so now that we got a response back, we have this thought for 6.9 seconds. I can click on that, and it kind of gives me some background information, how it took what I asked, and it kind of changed the prompts a little bit just to kind of get a better response. And you guys can look at that, and then maybe get an idea on how to write better prompts yourself. So then I'm going to close that out and just look at these little answers here, and this is really what we care about. And we can just read through this like step-by-step guide to non-spammy stuff, and then frame it around values, not just like and subscribe, and just keep going down here, and this will kind of give you some pointers. But in the end of the day, again, if we want to ask it another question and say, what is the temperature. Let's see, what are the temperature on Mars? And I hit enter. And now it's started to think again. It's not downloading a model because remember, the model's already downloaded. So we don't have to do that anymore. And it would just start getting our answers. And setting up a framework using Ollama and then just getting the new models is really as simple as that. Again, you just, if I want to change the model, I can just go down here to the Gemma model, for example, or this Deepseek model. We'll do the Deepseek one. And I'll click on this, right? And I can just say, please tell me about the differences in the differences. I can't spell today. Differences. There we go. In coffee, i.e., a cappuccino versus a latte, right? And I hit enter, and again, since it's the first time I'm doing Deepseek, it's going to download the model. So same process, pretty straightforward. All right, so as you see, when it's download, it kind of gave me my response back, and it's all the way down. So now, if I go down here and look at the models, I don't have a download for Deepseek because I already have that done. And same thing for this Qwen 3 model. So once you download the models, again, you don't have to re-download them every time. It's just a one-time deal. And setting up the framework and using the LLMs, really that simple. So next, what we're going to do, just to kind of mimic my environment on the DGX Spark, we're going to set up Open WebUI. All right, so installing the Open WebUI is actually pretty straightforward. I created a folder, it's Python projects, and it's in LLM _Open WebUI, and that's the folder that I'm going to install my Python virtual environment in, and that's where I'm going to load Open WebUI. Alright, so to get started, I can do the directory just to show you there's nothing in there, but I do want to install my Python in a virtual environment. So I can do Python -m VENV, and that's going to work for most people. However, I'm not on path, so I got to use the full Python path. So here I am with my full Python path, and if I do .exe just to make it a little bit more clear that I'm in my Python, I'm using 3.12. You can use 3.11 or 3.12. They work the best. If you go up to 3.13, it's not going to work for you, and then you'll have problems if you try other versions. So I would just stick to 12 just to be safe. And then it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to hit the .m or the -m, and I'm going to do VENV, and then that environment's going to get set up for me. And it'll take a second to run. Alright, so now that it's run, I can do VENV/scripts/activate, and then I activate that environment. And it's activated because we have this VENV right here. Now I'm just going to do CLS to bring us back to the top. And again, VENV's right here in parentheses, so we know we're in our virtual environment. And the next thing we have to do is just basically pip install Open WebUI, just like that. And then that's going to start collecting everything I need, and then it's going to start the install process. So I'll be back when this is done. Alright, so now that we have everything installed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do CLS, and I'm just going to bring us back up to the top. To start this, all I got to do is type in Open WebUI, and then I type in serve to serve, and I hit enter, and this is going to default to like the localhost 8080. So I just hit enter, and it's going to look for my keys that I don't have because it's the first time I did this, so it's going to go ahead and install those. And it also gives me some warnings not to use, star for production. This is really just for home use, so we're going to be fine. And then it kind of gives me this warning about can't finding MPEG. That's okay. We're not really using it. So pretty much right now, we're kind of set up. Okay, so we just have to open up our web browser. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring over our web page. And then I am going to go to localhost 8080. I hit enter, and it's going to open this up for the first time. It says I'm unauthorized. That's okay. Just click off, hit get started, and then I put my name in here, right? And I'm just going to do like, right there. And then I'm going to put in my email and my password. And once I do that, that's when my admin account is created, and I hit OK. And now we see we have Deepseek R18B. We go up here, we can change that to the Qwen 3 model. And these are the models that we downloaded previously with Ollama directly. And I can do how are you today? And then just hit enter just to kind of get that response back from the model. And there it is. So setting it up is just as easy as that. Okay, so let's say we want to add a new model. Really two ways to do this. We can go back to the Ollama framework that we had set up earlier. We can download the model directly through that. Or we can go over here to the Ollama library. And I can go down here and let's say I want this Mistral. So Mistral, I want this latest, just hit this copy. I go back to Open WebUI. I can hit the down, and where it says search for model, I'll just paste that in there, and I can pull the model directly from Ollama right here. I'll just click on it, and then it'll just start the download process. And now we're pretty much set up the same way that we are set up on the DGX Spark. So in future videos, you can either follow me along with the Spark if you have one, or if you don't, you can use your Windows environment and kind of do some of the similar things. You'll just be running smaller models. So hopefully that works out for you guys, and I'll catch you next time.